Good morning to the organizing committee from the University of Kerala and all the participants in this international webinar. My name is Nancy, and today for this session, I will be going to present a joint work on Kirtimukha, a demon-like face with Dr. Sachin Kumar Tiwari. The session in this presentation, I will be dealing with the introduction of the motif carried out by the visual depictions, then the antiquity will be dealt in this presentation of the motif, and then the parallels, iconic parallels, which are in Indian region and outside the India. Then the mediums on which the Kirtimukhas are present, and the typology observed from 2 or 3 sites, including Sarnath, Kailash Temple, Ellora, and Vikramshila. So starting with the introduction, Kirtimukha resembles a demon face depicted in both lion and human form. So this motif have all the features, demonic features, which is associated with the demon, like having a bulging eyes, wide open nostrils, stout horns, curled eyebrows, and frown on the forehead. And when we go to the literary meaning of this motif, it is literally translated as face of glory, face of majesty, or face of fame. There is a general concept behind this demon-like icon is to warn against the gluttony or one of evil eyes. And this motif generally represents an animal feature like lion, ram, dragon, serpent, which varies individually or in combination of the both. Apart from this, the ferocious face of the Kirtimukha, this Kirtimukha is also depicted with laughing and calm faces. Earlier, the Kirtimukha was exclusively associated with the Shiva, but later on, it began to use indiscriminately on various shrines to ward off the evil. The antiquity of this motif goes to the Chinese counterpart, which will be dealt in later in the presentation. And if we go to the antiquity of this motif in Indian context, then it is noticed on the relief of the Amravati Stupa. So there are some of the depictions which are associated with this Kirtimukha. So very first image is the Kirtimukha icon from the site of Sarnath. And here you can see the features, bulging eyes, then the hairs, then the dominating nose, and the lips and the teeth coming out of the mouth of the Kirtimukha. Then the second image is again a icon, which is from the contemporary society, which people use on the outside their house to ward off the evil, which is very much similar to the Kirtimukha, or can be called as a Kirtimukha. Then the third image again is of the Kirtimukha, which is a lion-like face, and it is from the site of Nalanda, from temple number 2 of the Nalanda. Then we have a fourth image on the top, which is again a Kirtimukha from a Dhammik Stup of Sarnath. And here you can notice, apart from having a demonic face, the face is made in a shape of the bell and is laughing. Again, the first figure from the bottom is from the Sarnath Site Museum of the Kirtimukha, where the face is very chubby and eyes is again protruding and hairs are made with the foliage design and all. Then the second image, from the bottom, you are seeing a shank bronze vessel, and on that you can notice there is a making of a face with a horn and eyes and again a mustaches, which a researcher considered to be an iconic parallel from China. Then we have a fourth image where the Kirtimukha has been depicted on the waistband or kamarband of the Prithankara. Then apart from these, Kirtimukhas are also found in the metallic medium on the bronze images, where it is depicted. Here you can see where it is depicted as ornament on the as bajuban or the kamarban. Then you can see a second image. This is the image from Vikramshila, where Kirtimukha is depicted as a terracotta brick on the adhisthana of the main stupa of the Vikramshila. Then there is a third image, which has been magnified at the bottom. And this image belongs to the Gupta period and the medium is stucco on the temple site 3 of Nalanda. And here you can see the image of the Kirtimukha is made in a human face. And again, it is made as a crown of the arch. Then there are some more images. In the bottom, the very first image, again in the stucco, and this is a loin face Kirtimukha, and which is from the site museum of Nalanda, and a middle image, which is a Kirtimukha connected in a series on a pillar. It is from the temple site 12 of Nalanda. The pillar is present on the temple site 12 of Nalanda. Then there are different themes in which these motifs or icon has been presented. And this is a figure. The first figure is from temple site 3. There is a Tara temple. This temple is the culmination of the stupa. So this is from the Hermika of the Tara temple of temple site 3 of Nalanda. Then you can see a line drawing. This is from Kailash temple, Alora. And this particular depiction is on the pillars of the Navaranga Mandap of Alora. And here you can see a similar pattern as that of the Nalanda. So this is a pattern which is very common in all the architecture, ancient architectures or the medieval architectures of India. So again, we will be dealing with some of the names which are different, which are associated with Kirtimukha and varies from region to region in Indian context. So the very first name is a Grasamukh, and the similar Kirtimukha is known as a Grasamukha in Gujarat. And if we have a Kirtimukha connected in series with that festoons coming out of the mouth of the Kirtimukha, then the whole pattern is known as a Grasapat, and which are present on the Adhistan part of the temple of the Gujarat. Then we have a second name, Rahur Mukarmala in Odisha. Then we have a third name, Bo, which is also said in Odisha. Then Vanaspati or Banaspati in Assam. And fifth is Panchvakta in Bihar and West Bengal. Then researchers have also observed some of the iconic parallels of Kirtimukha in the world, like they are very similar in context or on the basis of the context on which they are made, and second, on the basis of the visual depictions. So in these all motifs, the ferocious face has been made. At some places, the face is in the loin form, and in some places they are in the human form. So there are some iconic parallels which are outside the India, like Kalamukha, Simhamukha or Kala in South Asian countries. Then we have a Kalamakara in Java, Ziba and Sipa in Tibet, then Farahu in Thailand, Vanaspati in Java, Chebu in Nepal, Oni in Japan, and Taote in China, Tao Decor in Burma, Karangabhom in Bali, and then Medusa in Greek and Rome. We have a similar iconic features. And then Gorgon in Greece, Ouroboros in Sumerian, Green Man in Britain, which are often depicted on the entrance of the churches and all. Then Chakbot in Mayan civilization, Kibini in Sri Lanka, and Gamyon in Korea. So there are some legends which are associated with the Kirtimukha. So in literatures, the Kirtimukha is mentioned as a part of different mythical stories. And there are some legends associated with the creation of this Kirtimukha. So there are these three legends, the story of Jalandhar, the story of Rahu, and story associated with Ramayana. So wherever we finding these kind of motive, we can associate these kind of motive with these three story perhaps. Then the very first story, the story of Jalandhar, is associated with the creation of the Kirtimukha, and this story is comes in the Skanda Puran, and the story goes like that. There was a great king called Jalandhar, and he had made an irresistible power and had gone against a god of all the spheres and unseated them and established his own power. He challenged the Lord of Lords Shiva and sent his messenger Rahu to him. The challenge brought by messenger Rahu was that Shiva should give up his wife, a bride, Parvati, to the Jalandhar. The moment Rahu presented Jalandhar's demand, the goddess should be delivered to him, Shiva countered the challenge. And from the spot in the middle of the eyebrows emerged a horrific lion-headed demon. And the gigantic body of the demon was lean and bony, and showing the uncontrollable hunger, yet his strength was irresistible. His roar was like a thunder, the eyes burned like fire, and when the incarnated one rushed towards the Rahu, he got frightened and got refused in the benevolence of Almighty Shiva himself. This created was a very difficult situation, and if the gods fear the petitioner, then the half lion would be left a painful hunger but no proper food to the feast on. He pleaded Shiva to assign some on whom the torment might be appeased, and Shiva suggests that the monster, a good monster is the monster who will feed on his own flesh. So he started to eat up his own body, and teeth comes out, and all swallowed. The teeth swallowed all the stomach and the chest part, and he was left with his face and he was still eating his hand. At that time, the Almighty Shiva stopped him and was pleased by the demon, and he said, from now, you will be known with the name Kirtimukha, or the face of glory, and you will be on the lintel of my temple, and people will first pray you, and then they will pray me. And if they will not pray you, they will not get a Shiva's grace. So in this way, this demon story has been created, and you can see a very first figure or sketch, a line drawing, which is very similar visual depiction of the Kirtimukha. And this is the sketch of the terracotta stone from Nalanda. And here you can see the ferocious face, the bulging eyes, and the hairs, and the face is only left, and the creature is eating his hands also. So this is a very this is the figure which gives the visual depiction of the story which I narrated now. Then there is again a story of Rahu. The story of Rahu, in which in the Amrit Manthan, there was a fight between the demon and the gods for this Amrit, and the Rahu took the shape of the Vishnu, and he took the Amrit, and he taking the sip of the Amrit. And when sun and the moon they got to know about the trick of the Rahu, they tell the Vishnu, and Vishnu killed the Rahu. But because of the taste of this Amrit, the head of the Rahu became immortal, and the whole body decomposes. So this is the story also associated with these kind of motifs, which has been found at different places. Then again, there is a story associated with Ramayana and in Padma Puran also, where there was a two demon, Atika and Mahake, and these two demon, they went to Sri Lanka, and they observed a gate on which a demon face with the demon face was depicted, and they are describing the face, which is very similar depiction with what Kirtimukha has been depicted at different architectures. So these are some of the stories which are associated with these kind of icons present from very ancient time until now. So you can see some more images. This is again a depiction, a line drawing from Sarnath only, where you can see a lion-like face, and it is again surrounded by a hairs, very long hairs, which is the description given in Padma Puran, a very first story associated with Jalandhar. So there are some of the depictions which directly corrects the visual appearance of these demon Kirtimukha. Then when the antiquity and origin of the Kirtimukha has been seen, the earliest evidence of the Kirtimukha in Indian context is from the railing of the Bodh Gaya, Bihar, which belongs to the Shunga period, 187 to 78 BCE. So you can see here the railing, which has been kept in the Bodh Gaya Site Museum under ASI. And these are the railings on which this Kirtimukha has been made. There are approx 5 railings on which these Kirtimukhas has been found, and they were somewhat similar. There is only 2 kind of variations. Some are human faced and some are loin faced. Then the Kirtimukha motif makes one of its earliest appearance on the ivory specimen from Begram, dated to 1st and 2nd century BCE, and conceptualized by a Hellenic invader or a creator by Indian artists according to the specimen given to them. Then in 2nd and 3rd century CE, Kirtimukha can be noticed in the Buddhist context, which is on the headdress belonging to the Gandhar art from Lahore Museum. And here you can see, this is the motif. Then we are getting this Kirtimukha from the Gupta period, as I have shown you earlier, from the stucco part or the stucco of the temple, which belongs to the Gupta period from ancient Nalanda University from temple site 3. These are the Kirtimukhas, which has been depicted as a crowning of the arches. Then if we go to the parallels, iconic parallels outside the India, then we have a very first similar motif or icon, which has been depicted in the Lianzu culture on the medium like jade and painted ceramics. And you can see a similar face like bulging eyes and a mouth with a mustache, and hairs are seen. Then here you can see the similar features. Then the bronze vessel from the Shang dynasty, which I has been talking, and this is this perhaps belongs to the 1200 BCE, somewhat, circa 1200 BCE. And here is again a bronze vessel. You can see a face, and which has been here magnified. The similar features, the ears, the bulging eyes, and the again the ferocious, all the ferocious elements has been seen in this figure. Then we have again iconic parallels of similar icons which are present in 700 CE in with the name of Oni in Japan, and you can see the different pictures, which is very much similar to the Kirtimukh in India. Then we have Gamion in Korea, and again you can see the iconic similarity between the motifs. So, and there are also Onigawara in the very first image. Then you can also see a Gregoire in Paris. Again, they have again a demon-like face, which only the face has been depicted on the architecture. Then when we go to the South and Southeast Asia, we can see that these kind of images, which are known with the name of Kala, has been very much depicted from the 8th century China, 8th century Java, and the 11th century in Angkor style Cambodia. And this Chepu icon in Nepal also, you can see a similar kind of motif, and green man. So this kind of motif is very much similar to the Kirtimukha, and these all are the iconic parallels. So when we can plot on the map, we can see the cross influence of the art around the South and Southeast Asia. You can see the very first iconic parallel, which can be seen in 3400 BCE from Lianzu culture. Then we can see the iconic parallel in 200 BCE from again the Lahore part of the Pakistan, now Pakistan, and earlier it was the part of Indian subcontinent, and then the Oni in Japan, and then Korea, and then South and Southeast Asia. So we can see the influence, and can see, imagine the root of influence of this motif or the art. Then there are different mediums in which these Kirtimukhas has been depicted, and the very common mediums are stone, metal, stucco, and terracotta. So very first image is the stone, which is from Sarnath, as you have seen. Then we have a metal image of Kirtimukh, which you can see here, which is again from Nalanda Site Museum, and this is the bronzes from Nalanda. Then we have a stucco, which is again in the Nalanda Museum, the stucco Kirtimukha, and the terracotta one, which has been described earlier. So these are some kind of mediums which has been shown earlier. So apart from that, researchers have observed some kind of common typology, which has been seen when we observe a Kirtimukha. So commonly, what we found, these motifs have two variations. The first is the lion face Kirtimukha, and second is the human face Kirtimukha. Again, these two variations have further variations, like they might be presented in singular motive as a crowning element or as a part of the ornament, or they might be presented in the fringes or a connective fringes as shown earlier. And when we are talking about the context of this Kirtimukha, so they might be found as an independent sculpture, or of the variation are found as a crowning element also, and on the pillars also. So you can see the flow chart with these variations and all, which are somewhat similar to all the sites which the researchers have been observed. And there are some minute variations, like at some sites, some of the typologies are not present and some additional typologies are present, but on studying all the 4-5 sites, we have made this kind of common typology of the Kirtimukha, and the furthermore studies for the more sites are in the run, and we will be studying for some more sites for confirming the typology of the Kirtimukhas. So this is the whole presentation, which was about a demon-like ferocious face of the Kirtimukha, which is very much similar to all the demons features which are associated with the demon, and some are like lion and some are like humans. So thank you for the presentation. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and very much sorry for the inconvenience happened.